Hello there, this is Rom coming back at you with yet another smartphone couch video. Man, it's still hot out in that joint. I could have got in the car and got out there, but yeah, it's one of those weeks. Anyway, a man shouldn't be worried about how another man looks. And let me just say it like that. Because let's be real. The biggest reason a man will give publicly why he concerned because he's thinking that other man don't have any game. But really, that shit's really kind of moist. And let me shout out Mr. Locario because he did a video talking about why having a man crush is moist and men need to worry about their own game. I'll put a link for it in the description box. And he was right about that. Because I was thinking about that because every now and then I get somebody trying to come at me, but I'm 60. I'm 60. So if you're a 20-year-old coming at a 60-year-old man, what you worried about it for? Right? Don't even worry about that. But then, you know, you get some guys, they want some other guy to judge their looks and all of that. Only thing that matters is what the woman thinks. And as I've said 1,000 times, and I'll probably have to say it 1,000 more, all the man need to worry about is what the women think about him. Because, and then I said women like different things. Like, and I've talked about this before. I've known players for decades. You put them all in the same room. Even to this minute, to this very second. They all don't look the same. Some like more tall and leaner and muscular. Some are more stocky. It depends. Because here's the thing, and I be telling y'all this all the time. It depends on the women. It depends on the women. And even for, like, we got some metaphysicians out there, or shoot, even women just going on a deeper level. They just like different guys. It's going to depend. It's going to depend on their imprint. It's going to depend on the men in their family, their social class. It's so many factors in there. Indeed, that's why I say shoot. And sometimes women going to like what they like. Sometimes they not even going to like a guy who might be consensusly handsome. They might say, oh, he looked too good. Because I always talk about my favorite rejection. This woman said she couldn't get with me. She called me a pretty boy. And of course, yeah, and I know somebody say, oh, he ain't that. Dude, this is when I was in my 30s, okay? Dude, use some common sense. Use some common sense with that. And you shouldn't be looking at a man anyway. Are you moist? Because that's some moist ass shit right there. Because you don't have a vagina. You do not have a functioning vagina. At least I hope you don't. I hope you don't. You ain't going to look at a man the same way a woman is. And see, women, they look at different things. And speaking of that time that woman said she didn't want to get with me, she said, she looked me dead in the eye and said she like rougher looking men. I wasn't rough looking. I was like, okay. Women like different shit. Only thing a man should do, instead of worrying about how that next man looks, is worry about developing his own game. And even when I talk about body game, I didn't get that from men. That was women who was saying, oh yeah, they checking out bodies. That was women who told me that. I told you, shoot, back when I was like really worked out, really got in the body game, I ain't listen to some man or do it even for women. It was some women say, oh, wow, you looking better. Oh, yeah, you got that nice body. That's the thing. You got to go with that. And see, what a man should do, don't worry about that next man. In fact, I remember I did a video with somebody, and somebody was saying, how he getting women? But I knew this particular dude I was doing the videos with. I actually knew some of the women that he got with, and that were checking him out. They were fine as shit. but they were women. They were looking at them. You can't look. A man can't look at another man and tell what a woman's going to see, because see, remember, women looking at different things. And that particular woman, she might not want you. She might not want that dude who's consistently handsome. There's some women who like a little medium ugly in a dude. And I know some dudes said, no, that ain't the case. How many women have you talked to, motherfucker? Shoot. You start talking to women out here, you start asking them. You start asking them what they like. In fact, I even said, if I were to do something like that face judging thing, ranking thing, I would get a group of women. And even then, it might be the group that don't even like that guy, but then it's somebody else. Because like I said, I've known some players. I knew this guy could get women. I mentioned him before, trying to keep him out of prison. He didn't have no upper teethers. And still got with this woman. You just don't know. You don't know what a woman's going through, what her social class is, where she come from. In fact, I talked several times about this woman who I would call her a swan. I call her a swan. She real sweet, but she was a swan. She wasn't all that when she was younger, by her own words, right? But she grew into a very beautiful young lady. But she was still imprinted by just regular guys, and that's who she would still get with. I've seen 3 of the guys she got with. They wouldn't stand out. They wouldn't stand out. But then it's only up to her. It's only up to her. Yeah, they don't look like Chad or Tyrone. Shoot, one was overweight. One wasn't even like that tall. And speaking of that, check out that video I did yesterday, how you can get a woman despite your height. And I'm gonna tell you what, even a lot of stuff I talk about, I get that from seeing the guys who getting the women and then talking to the women. And whenever you talk to the women, it's always something. See, that's the important thing. You trying to get with the women. You get some guys jealous of another guy. It was like, man, you might need to come out. And I'm dead serious. I am dead serious. I would look somebody in the eye and tell them that shit. You can't look at another man and see what a woman sees. You don't have a vagina. Because part of how a woman looking at a man is her vagina. And she really looking at a man according to her needs. That's why sometimes you can get some guys, let me shout out Cousin T-Taw, he'll talk about roughnecks. Some women, they want that like rough dude, look like he can be a good father, look like he can like really mess some stuff up. He might not be that cut. Then again, you might get another woman, she like that guy who's really cut. It's going to be different for every woman. All a man can do is just be his best version and see who likes him. And I've been saying that. I'm gonna say that till I'm transition, because that's the reality out here. Because I would talk with different women, and they would even say, "Oh yeah, they checking out some guy or something." Shit, just like with men. Men are the same way. I had mentioned a few times this woman I work with. Me and this other dude thought she was all that, right? We thought she was all that, and she was fine to us. We thought she was on some other level. This other guy saw her and was just like, eh. Because look, here's the bottom line. You got different people, they're gonna like different things. You know? They're gonna like different things. You can't look at another man sexually anyway, unless you with them. Now, if you moist or something, hey, that's something different. But if you supposedly heterosexual, you can't look at another man. And if he getting played like crazy, he might just tapped into his tribe. You don't know where he at. You hanging out with him. And then even when because Mr. Locario talked about he addressed this in this video he did, the link I provided in the description box. You just don't, you can't look at what that other man doing, because that's not you. And you can't even like complain. Or I've seen some guys Because one of these guys was like real tall. And some other guy saying, well, he getting women because of that. Well, whatever he getting it. You ain't worried. You don't worry about it. You worry about yourself. The only man you should be worried about is the man in the mirror and presenting your best. Presenting your best. Don't worry about that next man. Even when you competing with that other man, you don't know what that woman wants. Even when you competing, like you get some guys, they'll see a fine woman with some guy, right? Okay. A woman they consider fine. And it's like, well, what she see in him? What? Well, she saw something in the motherfucker. She giving him some pussy. She saw something. You ain't that woman. You don't know what's going on with her. Like the imprint thing. You don't know the group of men that imprinted a woman. You don't know what she's looking for. Shoot. You don't worry about it. Because you can't know it. Because, as I always say, there's 4 billion women in this world. And it's really, the number's going up. 4 billion and going up. There's plenty of women. You got to find who likes who. You got to find who likes you. Shoot, like this dude said who did a webinar for me. He said every man can get 10 women. I don't care who you are. There's going to be somebody checking you out. All you have to do is pay attention to it. And if you don't like who's checking you out, then the only thing they had in common was you, so you need to change up. You need to be focused on yourself. You can't judge why a particular woman sucking some other man's dick. Even if it's a woman you want. And this one of the things, I mean, and seriously. Because I see this and it's a waste of time worried about some other man's woman. Or even a man getting a particular woman. You don't know that man either. If he happy with that woman, fine. Because you get some guys, they say, well, I don't like her. She ain't all that. Are you that man? If you don't want her, fine. Don't worry about it. And if that woman, if it's a woman you want, she just happen don't want you, like I say, you don't know what's up. And I've been saying that. You don't know what's going on with her. And this is very important because I'm seeing this a little too much. Don't worry about the next man. Only man you need to be concerned with is yourself. The man in the mirror. And if you ain't getting play, don't be like, well, they all want this type of man. They want this type of man. That's your own self-esteem. Only every single man, as I always say, your main relationship is with yourself. You need to be fixing yourself up and then paying attention. And it's like some game I learned real early. You tripping over that one woman, but then there might be 3 more checking you out. You pay attention. You don't need game as much as you do is just to pay attention. You need to be like, oh, okay, that one's paying attention. And yeah, I know you probably want that woman, okay, but you don't know what she wants. And you don't have time out here. Shit, you need to be focused on some other shit any motherfucking way. You need to be focused on what you going to do. Focus on yourself. You need to be selfish. You need to say, okay, let me just see who I like. Because the time and energy you spend worrying about what some other man doing or even how some other man look, you can be getting it on somewhere. Bedroom, couch, side of a couch, kitchen floor, whatever. Backseat of a car, whatever. You worry about yourself. You don't worry about the next man. And I know I'm going to talk about this again because look, I'm going to tell you what. That's something very important. You following me, my thing is always about developing yourself to your best. Finding the tribe, finding the women who are chilling with you the most. Worrying about that. You don't have time to be jealous of the other man. And I've said that. You don't have time to be jealous of the other man or what they doing. They gonna be doing their thing no matter what. And like I said, you don't even know that woman. You don't know what's up with her. You might see that woman, she looking all fine. Like, there was a time this dude told me, and he was in college. And there was this woman he was really crushing on, and she thought she was all prim and proper. But then he went to his fraternity party, and she was getting a train ran up in her. Now he thought she was all that, but then she had basically 4 men on top of her. One in the back, one in the front, and 2 more waiting for their turn. Now, if he didn't know that when he first met her, that she would get down like that. You don't know anything. All you worry about is yourself and the women that get with you on your terms. That's going to be in cooperation with your operation. That's the only thing you need to worry about. And then you don't worry about how that next man look. Unless you moist trying to get with him. Now, if you ain't moist trying to get with him, what the fuck you worried about that next man for? And even if he getting a woman you want, like I said, you don't know that woman. You only worry about yourself. You only be concerned with presenting your best. And then seeing which women like that. All right? I want y'all to think about that, all right? I want y'all to think about that. And yeah, it's hot out this joint. Yeah, I had to turn this air conditioner off just so I could record some videos and record this video. About to turn that joint back on. It's getting hot up in this building. So anyway, y'all. Yeah, hopefully it'll cool down by next week. I can start doing some stuff. But anyway, y'all have a good day, and might have a surprise for y'all tomorrow. Might have a surprise. I'm gonna say might. Shit always happens, but might have a surprise for you. So anyway, I get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.